Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Nibiru channel, Nibiru News and WSO. I'm here with Steve Olson from the WSO channel. How you doing, Steve?
Doing great, Scott. Thanks for having me on again today.
So what's happening, buddy? What kind of news do we have today?
Well, the first thing I'll tell you is our main channel, the WSO channel, came back up today after the fraudulent copyright strike from the Sechi Joker finally got taken down. So my channel was up this morning, so I've been spending the whole morning trying to fix it. But that's news number one. And before I move any further, you have been such a friend to me and to this channel and to all the work that we're trying to do together. I just wanted to recognize you as just one of the freaking real guys that are out there right now, Scott. You're the real deal. If anybody doubts Scott Sione's intentions or any of the stuff that he does, I'm here to tell you that you're full of crap. This guy is the real deal. Thanks, Scott.
Hey, no problem, brother. Like I said, that's what us Italians are here for, man. Everybody needs a good Italian friend.
Isn't that the truth? So anyway, the other thing I wanted to kind of get out there too is we got a paper from our physicist today, and she had been sick for a while and had some surgery or something done, and she had been out of the loop. We thought we lost her, but she sent us a paper today, and maybe I'll just even pull up part of it here. But what was most interesting about this is that I kind of got spanked a little bit on what we've been saying about this cosmic wave of energy. Mm-hmm. And I'd like to just kind of share some of that with you and your audience, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
So basically what happened, and let me get this paper up here and I'll show it to everybody and just kind of go through a couple of the key things here that I think will be interesting. I'll get this shared up here. All right, can you see it?
Yes, sir.
All right, so here we go. So this got this paper today, and what I'll do is I'll just kind of slowly page through it, so if people want to go back and read it, they can. But I'm just going to kind of jump to a couple of the highlights. All right.
Can you blow it up a little bit? Can you expand it, or is that as big as?
Oh yeah. Tell me when it looks better.
Oh, that's perfect. That's beautiful.
All right, so basically the first thing we looked at was the solar wind density stuff that we've been looking at. You remember how we've been freaking out about this this connection coming in, this call it, I mean, we've been calling it a wave, but that's not what we should call it.
It looks like a band of energy, like a cyclone or a hurricane to me.
Yeah, correct. And what we come to find out was that the big story here is not necessarily that this big wave of energy, because we did see a similar type of energy wave come through in November as well. So you see how this energy wave is coming in here too, and basically that thing's been just going around the horn here for the last couple cycles. And then furthermore, I could show you that in October of 2010, we got smucked by one of these waves of energy, or one of the, not wave of energy, but high density, energy sources, if you will. Okay. Mm-hmm. So we have had similar, we've been bapped similarly like this in the past. What the real story is in these tables, and I'm going to try to explain this best I can. What you'll notice across the top of this thing is you're going to see the density readings and the X-ray and all the good data that our physicist does with us, right? But really the main thing I want to point out is the area of the sun with coronal holes was about 2 to 5% during that month of October 2010. Okay. So 3% are, anywhere between 2 and 6%, but on average about 4 or 5% of the sun was covered with coronal holes. If I go to the table that we did for November, which is the next time period, the area with coronal holes, these big holes on the coronal on the sun's surface. So we saw between October 2010 and November 2016 about a 17% increase in coronal hole activity. So far, so good?
Yep, I'm right with you.
Okay. So now when we go to look at this chart and this information from just recently, look what happened to the coronal hole density or area on the sun. It jumped another 10% in 1 month.
Oh my. 10%.
That's the story. That's the story. That's the story. It's not about a cosmic wave of energy. It's not about, you know, all that. What we're seeing here, according to the physicist, is a connection to the brown dwarf, where the brown dwarf star is equalizing with our star, and the energy that's output by the sun decreasing dramatically as a result. So what is an answer? What am I saying here? Okay, what is Steve saying here? I'm saying that this dramatic increase since October of 2010 till now is significant. But what's even more significant is that we increased 10% in just the last month. That means, according to our physicists, that the brown dwarf indeed is getting closer to us and at a higher rate of speed. So the story that we should be talking about is not cosmic waves of energy. That's impossible. Number one, the physicists said that if there was any kind of a radiation or cosmic, you know, ray of energy, we would not have been able to detect it, and it would have happened instantaneously. Nobody would have detected it.
Yeah, that's I did a lot of research on, you know, this gamma rays, cosmic waves of energy, the whole 9 yards, and that was exactly the information that I got. It would have happened so fast that in a blink of an eye, everything would have been fried. So,
right,
you know, it's just the whole cosmic wave of energy is not even a factor anymore. I think that people have just coined that phrase now because this is about what we're going to be going through. And I got a lot of intel on this myself a couple hours ago. And you know, to be honest with you, the situation is a little bleak. It's not the end of the world, but it's definitely going to be something that's going to last for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely going to be something that's going to test your faith.
That is absolutely correct. And this is what I wanted to, I'm so glad that we found, and by the way, Scott and I have not talked today other than just to set up this show. So we haven't compared notes yet of research that he and I both have gathered. So the first thing I would say is the reason that we're experiencing this unusually early winter and depth of winter is because our sun is losing energy. Fact, yeah. It's a fact, Jack.
Yeah, some of the information that I got about 2 hours ago is that you're exactly correct. We're going to lose some energy from the sun, but then
yep, keep going, Scott. Go ahead.
Yeah, but then the complete opposite is going to happen. The sun is basically, everybody was talking about this ice age. Well, there may be a little, I don't even want to use the word ice age, but the temperatures will definitely get below our normals around the world. But once we get into the spring, February, March, April, and June, things are going to heat up. The sun is going to increase in its intensity about 20%. And the amounts of radiation that are going to be coming from the sun are going to be very intense. We're talking about stepping outside and the intensity of the sun literally blistering your skin, you know, in minutes. Now, you know, we're still going to be gathering information, and the problem is this is data, this is information. Anything can change at any time, but you know, we don't have a crystal ball, so we're not going to, we can't take this data and just say, okay, this is 100% truth. We are basically going to have to live through this. And that's what I meant by.
And it's not the thing that I want to get across. Thanks, Scott. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but the thing I want to get across is this isn't a one-day thing. This isn't the lights go out, the earth shakes, and everybody dies. This is something that's going to increase. So the pattern we're looking for is the sun is going to continue to discharge until the brown dwarf comes within proximity of the Earth, where it's going to affect and all those things of the Earth. And then to a point, it will switch around, and instead of it being too cold, it will start to become too hot. The quote from Bible says, that's what the ancient Indian accounts say, that's what the Chinese said, that's what the Sumerians said, that's what the history says, and that's what the data is bearing out right now. And that's all I can tell you.
That's, you know, I would say that's a mirror of the information that I got. You know, things are, you know, I don't even know how to express myself at this point in time. I was actually hoping for different news. I was hoping for good news in a sense, but you know, this just shows me, and this just tells me that this is my theory. This is why they are pushing to, you know, to move to the South Pole, because of the temperatures that we're gonna experience. It's going to affect everybody on this Earth. I also found out that because of the radiation levels, and I got a radiation level website, which I'd like to show you, because there are parts of the world right now. This is live radiation levels, and I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to share the link with you. I'll email you the link so you can keep track of it yourself. But these radiation levels they're going to cause sickness. There's just no doubt about it. They're also going to cause millions and millions of people to literally become sterile. I mean, there's not going to be a lot of
what was that that name of that movie that Clive Owen was in, Children of Men scenario, like?
Oh yeah, something. It's just the effects of this the prolonged radiation, and you know you're going to have these people that are going to look outside. They're going to say, "Oh, it's just hot out there." Okay, it's 120 degrees, it's 130 degrees. Oh, I could still, you know, cut the grass. Well, the grass ain't going to be growing, because, you know, we're going to have a very, very serious drought. And the drought is, it's probably going to last for a long time. It possibly may last for years. You know, so the information that we're getting, and we will get, we're just going to have to keep on getting the information as it comes in, try to decipher it, and hope for the best. But the information that I got today on the boys in blue at NASA, once again, they're scrambling for data, for information, and they really don't know what to do. Now, the office that Obama opened up, the Space Weather Office, well, you know what? That was a little too late. Don't you think? I mean, you signed that into office, at the beginning of the fall or something like that? You know, don't you think that this should have been done a long time ago? But no, they're not going to warn anybody. They're not going to tell anybody, hey, listen, you know, gradually bring people into this. Now, something else that I found out today is that after we get through this coronal hole in the sun and our alignment, people have said, I don't want to mention any names, that we will go through a lull period. Well, that's not going to happen, because literally the sky is going to start to glow at like a burnt orange color. And then people are going to start wondering, why is this happening? Why is the sky this color? Mm-hmm. Well, the bottom line is, the reason why the sky is going to be this color is because the sun's going to be emitting 20% more energy, and it is going to be directed straight towards Earth. Now, I forget the reading right now on the solar winds, 620,000 miles or kilometers per second. So they're going to be hitting Earth within the next 24 to 48 hours. And, you know, things are going to change. Now, I was just checking out some earthquake updates. Okay, now, once again, they have to piss me off because they had an earthquake in Northern Virginia and they had an earthquake in Kentucky. Okay, they removed both of them from the map 2 hours later. Okay, now that's just wrong. And on top of all of that, there are swarms of earthquakes moving straight up through Alaska and straight up the western coastline of California and Mexico. Then they had earthquake data that was listed in New Zealand, Japan, an island off the coast of Russia. They removed all of it. Why? What are these, make believe?
Yeah, I'm looking at the data, and I will tell you, after you had shared with me that they were hiding Mexico seismic data, I went and downloaded an app that went around that. This morning, I saw like 15 earthquakes in Mexico, along the coast of Mexico, on the Run seismic map.
Yes, sir.
On the official USGS map, not one of them shows up today.
Yes, sir. I mean, I forgot to share that link with you and Jeff when we were on our broadcast, and I mean, I'll go ahead and bring it up. But it really makes me mad because everybody on this earth deserves to live. You know, even the bad people. We're all part of human life. You know, and I just don't like the fact that we have a group of people that are playing judge, jury, and executioner. They're literally taking the role of God in their hands, and to me, that's wrong. We all deserve to have this information. Everybody, even the little trolls that wreak havoc on our YouTube channels and spread their crap. It really makes me mad that somebody is not stepping up to the plate and making an official announcement. But it's just like everything, Steve. You know, they're going to wait till there's already been some destruction and death and heartache, and then they'll come out and they'll make up some excuse of why it happened. But the bottom line is, man, people are opening up their eyes. You know, I wanted to share a picture with you, and I'm going to bring it up. A friend of mine, her name's Jessie. She sent me a text message in the middle of the night last night, hysterical, because she was getting out of her car, and she just happened to look into the sky, and with a plain cell phone, no moon, no light source, no freaking lens flare, she just happened to look in the sky, and she sees this freaking blue planet right there with her naked eye. Snapped 3 photographs of it and ran in the house. Okay, so it's just like we talked about yesterday. You know, this big vortex that Nemesis and Nibiru, they guaranteed they brought other planets, other celestial bodies into our solar system, and that's probably what we're all seeing here and there, depending on where you live on this earth. And it really freaked me out.
Hemispheres, you know, Scott, to your point, the people in the southern hemispheres, they don't need us to convince them anymore. Like people that live in mid-Australia, out in the outback, or New Zealand, or South America, like deep South America, down in Argentina, those areas. Those people are the ones that send us stuff that is just mind-blowing stuff. I mean, it's getting to the point where it's almost just, it's normal, everyday Nibiru researcher stuff, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, but the Earth changes and the Earth effects, though, when they've been trying to build up this Christmas season or this early January period as this big, you know, troubled event time, and now that we've pulled the onion back, see is that we're going to get colder and colder, And then what? I'm sorry that this comes to mind, Mo. If you go back to David Bowie on Vivo, and you look at the Dark Star songs and Lazarus and all those songs that he made in that album, what you see is an early summer appearance of the dark star in the sky while the lawnmower man is looking up. Remember, and he gets hotter, and all these things start to evolve and develop. So it really does start to feel like spring of 2017. We'll start seeing the second star in the sky.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to welcome Jeff P. just joined us. Jeff, what's happening, my man?
Oh, lots of stuff is happening, brother. Good to be here, and hope I can listen in and offer any insights that I can.
Yeah, we were just going over some information that Steve got in early this morning, and you know, I got some bone-chilling information. I just actually got chills up my arms thinking about it. And you know, between myself and you and Steve and Wayne Steiger, and there's a few others out there that
don't get us wrong, man. There's people that are honest out there. I think Matthew Rogers is honest.
Yeah, matter of fact, I got a beautiful long email from Matt wishing all three of us a Merry Christmas and, you know, happy holidays. And he wants to get on a hangout with us and discuss what's been happening in his world. And I told him no problem. You know, we have plenty of time. We're not going anywhere.
No.
You know, so I mean, that's definitely going to be something that we'll do in the future. But yeah, Jeff, we were just talking about, you know, the information that we got, and basically the sun's going to take a little bit of a lull for a very short period of time, and as we move into the very early spring, the intensity of the sun is actually going to pick up about 20%, and it's basically going to become a new sun, and
wow.
The radiation levels are already increasing. I have a radiation worldwide map that is updated, you know, constantly. I was looking at it today, and there are several areas of the United States that are already at a level 3 out of 5. And just so happens that I live right smack dab where that's occurring.
Wow.
Yeah, this is going to occur. It's going to continue for a period of years. You know, you're going to be able to just walk outside and pretty much get an instant suntan with blisters. And yeah, we're not going to have an ice age. It's going to be like the fire and brimstone.
Right.
Yeah.
And then as it departs, it will be a reverse cycle. It will get colder and colder, then it'll get really cold, and then as it gets away, we'll normalize. And that could take 3 years.
Yeah, 3 to 7 years is 3 to 7 years is what I got. Now, something else that I wanted to touch on, that the information that I got in was, once again, you know, bone chilling. I mean, both of you guys know that we have millions of volcanoes under the ocean, and these volcanoes over the past several years have been, the pressure has been increasing from internally in the earth, and we can't keep track of all of these earthquakes, or excuse me, volcanoes in the sea. And if you've noticed over the past several years, all of these massive fish kills.
Yeah.
Well, no one has ever come up with a definite reason why these fish kills are occurring all over the world. We're talking tens of millions of marine life literally washing up on shore. And the reason being is all of the toxic gases that are being released into the ocean and literally flowing around the world. Now, these volcanoes above ground and in the sea are all going to play a major factor once we get into about the middle of this scenario. And these volcanoes that will start to erupt around the world, some that have not been active for hundreds of years, once again, we're going to get into a situation where, these gases that are going to be coming out of these volcanoes, they're going to be very toxic, and, and actually it's going to make people sick. People that have respiratory problems, they may actually succumb very quickly to what's going to be out there. Hence the, elite wanting to run underground, and they want to be someplace where it's cold, the Antarctic. So,
or what will be a normal temperature probably during this, or relatively normal temperature while the rest of the Earth cooks, or,
yes.
Something like that. And so, I take all of these different data points together. I really want to hear what Jeff's got to bring to the table too, and I'll shut up here in a minute. You take the Indian, original American native prophecies, you take the biblical prophecies and eschatology of the Muslims and the Jews, you take the eschatology of the Hindus, you look at the Sumerian texts, you look at all these things together, and the scenario that we're painting is exactly what happened, for example, in the Coburn Bible. Things got cold, then things got hot, then people were getting blisters when they went outside, etc., etc. So the parallels to the historical record, to me, are remarkable. That's just the only point I want to make.
Yeah, I mean, they are. My guy down there in North Carolina, we were having a conversation about it, and I mean, he's found himself, and he's not too happy about, I'll use the word cover up, because that's basically what this is. It's just basically a complete worldwide cover up, and it makes me very mad too. That's one of the worst things for me, is this makes me so mad that it makes my blood boil.
Yeah. Yeah.
I literally want to have a temper tantrum.
Yeah, I know. Just sit there and cry like a baby.
Well, I want to do a little more than cry like a baby, man. I want to throw some fists, is what I want to do, because it's just not right. You know what I mean? You're not God. You're not the judge. You're not the jury, and you're sure as hell not the executioner. And that's what they're playing themselves to be. But you know what, man? Here's the deal. In the end, they're going to be the ones that rot and burn. That's a fact.
Yeah. Jeff, what have you learned in the last 24 hours? Anything interesting?
In the last 24 hours, I've been kind of checking out the signs and the seasons, and I'm still checking out this incoming planet. And by the way, tomorrow is an interesting time. I'm not setting dates or anything, but just kind of going over some biblical references that let's see if I share my screen here. Are you guys familiar with the signs in the heavens? The 9/23/2017. You remember that?
Yeah.
Well, Scotty Clark from Turner Rhythm Flow saw this quite a few years, almost 2 years ago. And this sign that is right out of the book of Revelation, chapter 12, when it says, I saw a woman clothed in the sun with the moon under her feet, with 12 stars above her head. And, as we speak right now, well, excuse me, but tomorrow will be the 9 months, which is how long a woman is pregnant. And it says it gives birth to the male child. Well, in 91 days from now, there's going to be an alignment, which will be September 23rd, 2017, that this only shows up once. And I ask anybody to go into Stellarium, type this in. Let me share my desktop here. And let's see if I pull this up. I've got it all worked out on my okay, so you guys see my screen?
It's
not yet,
coming.
Jeff.
Okay,
there it is.
Okay, so you see Stellarium now, right?
There we go. Yep.
Okay, so here's the date. On the bottom right, you can see that this 2017, November 23rd, and here it is. This is the alignment that we see Mercury, Mars, Venus, and Regulus in a perfect alignment. This will never happen. Has it ever happened before? Will it ever happen again? You could just run the time clock and spin this thing. It will never line up like this ever. Now, according to the artwork, But I left the lines here on purpose because you can see Jupiter here. This is also known as the king planet. That it is presently in the legs giving birth to this male child, which if you continue reading the book of Revelation, it said, well, rule the nations. Well, if that's a type of Jesus Christ, then, and this striped planet, Jupiter, which has red stripes and a red wound, that red mark below the horizon, does that sound familiar? That this is only 90 days from now. And then we have this serpent, the dragon here. I find the relationship between this dragon seems to be like a dual prophecy, because this dragon that had the 7 stars, or the 7 heads, came after the woman. I don't want to get all biblical. I'm just pointing out this time frame. It's really...
Oh, no.
Yeah,
you guys understand that this
get biblical, brother, because this is the world information right here.
Okay, you want me to get biblical? I'll get biblical, man. Let me pull up Bible Gateway in the same screen here, and we'll read it together. Now, I've done Book of Revelation Bible studies. I've been through the Book of Revelation many times, all the way through. So we can let me pull this up. Revelation chapter 12. There's a lot of disinfo on this thing. Okay, there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and moon under her feet, upon her head. She was being cried with a child. Well, who is this child? Travailing in birth, pain to be delivered. There, and if you go through this woman is basically a type of Israel, but some could say it's the church. There's arguments there. But then we talk about this dragon. It seems to have a red dragon, and it also appears, you guys found it on the IRIS telescope in the infrared spectrum. It actually, Dabu7 pointed out too, that it was actually deleted. And its tail drew a third of the stars from heaven. Well, part of the prophecy is that the angels that rebelled against, followed Satan, and they fell from heaven. They cast them to the earth. And then this woman who gave, ready to be delivered, devoured the child as soon as it was born. Well, Herod, this to be proved when Herod, the king of Israel, killed all the 2-year-old babies during the time, hoping to kill Jesus and try and stop this prophecy. But then as we go forward, the woman went into the wilderness. This is also interesting, almost another double prophecy here, but it's just my theory. But this woman, if it is Israel during the Great Tribulation, they're going into the rock city of Petra. And they're going to hide there for 2,103 score days. That half of the tribulation time, and then Michael the archangel. And then here we talk about this great dragon cast out, the old serpent called the devil, and Satan deceived the whole world. Now it's kind of a bird's eye view of almost the whole tribulation, also of everything that's coming. I'm sorry, I can be a little scatterbrained here. I apologize.
No, can I give me a second?
Yeah, please
let me
do.
clear my screen for a second.
Okay.
Let me do this. Because it's funny that I just had this racked up by I mean, again, there's no accidents anymore, I don't think. But let me pull this thing out here and then share my screen with you guys. Now, this is a video by Strangeness Video, and basically he picks up Revelation 12:3, and there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns upon its heads. With that, they were actually able to come up with an illustration of what this system looked like. And guys, does this not look, and this has 7 planets, 10 moons, and this is basically a compilation of all the different stuff that we've seen over the last year, and this is what the artist's depiction of what it looks like.
Right on, man.
My God.
I knew it, man. I knew there was a double symbolism here, but it almost seems as though if you were to replace the dragon and the stars as Nibiru, and you can actually input it, the whole thing would make more sense. I mean, it's everything that this thing is doing to the Earth. Go ahead.
Yep. No, this and just I think Scott, I think the reason you were saying, "Oh my God," is because you've seen these objects.
Yep.
Every single one of these objects we've seen at one time or another. Especially that green one, and that's what they say is actually the Nibiru planet itself. You know, whatever you want to name it, I don't care. It's a solar system, for crying out loud. Okay.
Yeah, let's not get into a word battle with that, right?
Heck no, man. You know, I have so many people name these different things, but it's just because, again, this is what pisses me off. I mean, and Scott, you know, and this is the thing that really gets to me is they tried to warn us. They had written it down. They had recorded it. They built pyramids to warn us about it. Okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
And yet, what do we do with that information? Well, let's talk about it. They burnt down the library in Alexandria, and the Vatican carted away all of the documents, and they are to this day in the Vatican.
Yeah, aren't they hidden? I mean, they're like
hidden. They're hidden. So the fact that we got a Coburn Bible was a complete accident. It was a complete mess up on the part of the document carrier handler people. Okay. So the fact that we even got any kind of an Egyptian account of the last passing of this thing was a miracle. So it's like they've been covering this damn thing up for a long ass time, not just since yesterday.
Oh, it's been a long time. They've been covering this up for what, maybe a few centuries?
At least.
Yeah,
so anyway,
well,
the reason I bring it up is because everybody's up. You know, I get that we're upset at the current regime and we're upset at the current government structure and all that kind of stuff. But it looks to me like they've been planning all these moves for a lot longer than people realize.
Yeah, I kind of figured that myself. I was up pretty late last night, and I finally got so tired I just literally passed out. But that's actually what I was thinking about. You know, is I'm sure they've delved into the Bible study and the Bible prophecy, because right now it should be right up there as far as the high level data that they should be using, not just poking telescopes into the sky and sending satellites and craft out there to see what's out there. You know, I'm sure within the regime of people in all of the space agencies, I'm sure there's some people out there that definitely know and that have studied the Bible and have read it extensively and understand it. And I hope to God for mankind that they do the right thing. But you know, there's nothing stopping what's about to happen. You know, it's just a matter of standing up to it, facing it, and whatever happens, happens. You know, and if it wasn't for people like you and Jeff and Wayne and a few others and myself, nobody would know anything. Did you ever think about that? Nobody would know nothing. You know, Jeff, just before you jumped on air,
I
was telling Steve, a friend of mine sent me a bunch of text messages in a complete panic last night as she was getting out of her car. And she watches my channel, and I've clued her in on a lot of things. And when she got out of her car, she just happened to look up, and no moon, no lights, no glare, no lens flares, no nothing. She literally looked up into the sky and saw a blue planet, and she photographed it, took 3 photographs with her cell phone. And it freaked her out so bad, she literally ran in the house and sent me the photographs by text. Well, I just happened to have the phone right next to my head. The chime woke me up. I looked at the photographs, and, you know, I was floored. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and share them with you guys real quick so you could see these. And, you know, there is, Oh boy, what could I say? No doubt.
Well, and if you guys are hearing, that we're also in a state of kind of dumb wonder, it's true. We are. We're all of the work that we've been doing is now starting to come together. The puzzle pieces are coming together because we work together. Okay. And I think the thing that they hate, I think the thing that surprised them the most about our channels was that they did not anticipate us coming together as a group.
Yeah, we're like the Beatles, man. Is that who sang that song? Come together right now. But that's what my friend Jessie saw when she got out of the car, looked up, and it was right. It was right there, dude. And she doesn't have a super duper, iPhone 10, 15, whatever the hell they are. She just has a regular smartphone. She saw it with her naked eye, and she zoomed in to that photograph, and then this was a little bit of a further away shot. So, I mean, you're telling me, well, what is that? What is that, Venus? What is that?
Yeah, what is that?
I mean, and this is a lot clearer because it wasn't zoomed in. This was, taken just like regularly with her camera. And there you go, folks. You just zoom in for us.
They're going to try to knock people out again with this whole wave of energy bullshit. And I'm just going to call it bullshit because it's bullshit.
There's too much intel coming in from the side right now that there are some people that are stepping up to the plate. And I think they're getting tired of spreading lies, spreading disinformation.
What we're seeing, our officials are throwing their badges down and coming to our side right now is what's happening.
Well, you know what, man, they should be human beings and they should step up to the plate and do the right thing because it's just not right. That's what makes me mad. But in the same instance, that's what motivates me.
Yeah.
It motivates me 10, 12, 15 hours a day. I don't get more than 3 or 4 hours of sleep. And sometimes that's not even in, one complete cycle. Now this is the last photograph that Jessie took. And I haven't enhanced the photographs, but I swear to God that I see, if you could see my cursor, I see a small orb right there. And you know what? It's actually in the enhancement area, and I could just quickly just lighten it up a little bit to see what that is, because I was kind of interested to see if that's what I was really seeing. Right about right there. Well, there's black and white, so it's definitely there. That's as far as I could zoom in on it. But
this looks just like the photographs that we're getting out of New Mexico. My crew is down there right now getting ready to make, we've made contact with the Hopi Indian elders, and the North Dakota stuff earned us a lot of street cred with the original natives. So they are helping the crap out of us right now. And they're revealing to us these prophecies in great detail. And these are things that they weren't even supposed to speak to white people. And they recognize that we are not against the human race, or we're not against them. What they recognize is we're trying to help, and so they're helping us. Now, the reason I bring that up is because we've got our telescope operating down there, and we've caught several photographs of this object with our telescope.
What do you guys think?
The WSO telescope.
What do you guys think about that small sphere where my cursor is? It definitely doesn't look like a pixel. To me, it looks like maybe a small moon of some kind. I'm going to have to work.
It's probably a moon.
Yeah, I'm going to have to work on this photograph a little bit more. We had all that controversy not too long ago during the super moon, the last full moon of this year for 2016. And literally people all over the world taking photographs of the moon. Now, yes, some photographs did contain like a blue flare of some kind. But when I got an email from a gentleman in Israel who was standing on the street of Tel Aviv with a couple of hundred people and a reporter staring up at the moon and looking at a blue object off in the distance with the naked eye. What are you supposed to say? Are you supposed to stand there and call a couple of hundred people a liar? No, just ain't happening. And if you take a look at this picture, I mean, this is pretty damn close to what we saw during all of the full moons from September, October, November, and December. So, I get beat up all the time anytime that I put together a video about the full moon and what's being seen, because the sun is illuminating that moon so brightly. And I feel that the light is bouncing off of the moon and bouncing off of that planet, and they are just lighting each other up.
Right. That's what I believe too. And the other thing, there's another couple of things that we can explain now that we understand this better, okay? Why is Venus so bright? Well, Venus could be getting closer to the Earth because of the magnetic stuff like that. That's one possibility. But what's more likely, if you remember what happened when Mars got passed by that one comet, it actually lit up a plasma field around Mars. I don't know if you remember that incident.
Yeah.
It was like a plasma crater even.
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
What we're thinking is one of the things we'll be looking for is the inner planets to start to light up like Christmas trees.
Yes, sir.
And yep, and the reason for that is because there's so much more electromagnetic energy present that it creates plasma. It's not because the sun is brighter, and it's not even because a nemesis is causing direct visible sunlight. It's because of the energetic reactions of those planets. Now, the question would be then, well, if Venus is going to get lit up like that, what is Earth going to look like?
Well, remember when I was telling you the intel that I got early this afternoon, that in a very short amount of time, I think within the next month and a half to 2 months, people are going to start wondering why the sun is turning white.
Or why is it light at nighttime?
Yeah, but the skies are going to be a burnt orange color. We're going to lose, excuse me, we're going to lose a large portion of the blue sky. And it's going to be orange around the world because of the 20% increase in the...
You know what?
Yeah.
It sounds like what you're describing there is what the Illuminati Hollywood in their movie V. Remember that? All the skies were red.
Yeah.
And then before the Queen lady came out and made her global announcement, sounds very familiar of our up and coming future.
Mm-hmm.
So
well, and while I hold very close and strong to my faith, I'm open-minded enough to actually think that maybe the stuff that David Icke and these other folks have been talking about is what we call the devil, these reptilians, right? And I'm starting to think that, not only think, but I believe wholeheartedly that the reason that we've been kept in the dark and the reason we get so much resistance in trying to do this stuff, personal, financial, death threats. I mean, you can't believe what we go through, you guys. I mean, I'm not trying to get your sympathy. I'm just trying to tell you, we have paid everything to do what we're doing. I am sold out. There's no other direction I can take in my life now. I have been basically cut off from any normal life for the rest of my life. Scott, you have been too, Jeff.
Oh, listen, man, I got my first gray hair over this stuff.
yeah. Hey, you guys got you on the phone. Since we're on the topic of the reptilian race and all that, and I've always kind of wanted to mention it, man, but in the truth, I gotta say, you remember that movie that was called They Live? And the guy put on the glasses, you can see these people.
Yeah.
Are you ready for this, people? You need to listen up. You need to get your iPhone out, turn on the app for your video camera. And under the video camera, you could select pictures or video, and the new release on the iOS, the new cameras, they have a slow-mo picture. And this slow-mo has a frame 2,000 frames per second, and it's basically a strobe effect. And this will literally unveil these people on high definition TV sets. So go get your camera out, watch your news anchors, the major ones, the presidents, certain people in high powered places, and watch it, record it, and then watch it in slow-mo, and then do the same thing with normal people, and prepare to be blown away.
Did you guys ever see my my short little video that I caught Hillary Clinton shape-shifting?
Yeah.
I did it this summer.
Yeah, that was the one of them that really doinked my head, man.
Yeah, because I mean, I've delved into shape-shifting for many years. I believe in it, and I've seen it many, many times on different programs, interviews, things of that nature. And I just happened to be watching, I think it was Fox News, and I could have swore to God that she shape-shifted right on camera.
And what's happening there, and this is why a lot of people, misunderstand what we don't mean shape-shifting in the sense of a cartoon, okay? What we have, this ridiculously small window on the world, it's called visible light, okay, in the electromagnetic spectrum. We have senses for more of it, but let's not talk about that right now. What I'm talking about is just what we see with our eyes. These beings are living in a different frequency than we are. That's why we can't see them. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I heard like Saturn has something to do with all this too, which is a type of Satan.
Well, again, there's a lot of people that think the moon is a part of a prison system. So here's the thing. If you go back and you think about Yeshua, right? And he kept saying that he's going to set the captives free. I always wondered, well, what the hell is he talking about? I don't think he was talking about sin. I think he was talking about setting us free from these assholes.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we should change the topic now. I think people are, it's too much of a truth shock for people to grasp that until they get their own slow-mo camera out and wake up to reality that these people, they're not kidding, man. This stuff is real.
Hey, listen, before we do change the subject, I pulled up my video. I pulled up my Hillary Clinton shape-shifting video. I think we need to show it. It's real quick. I haven't seen it since I made it.
And by the way, people, anybody can go get high definition videos and do the same video. This is not photoshopping, okay?
No, there's no photoshopping.
And as you watch these videos, I want you to focus your eyes on the fact they don't have ears or a nose. They don't have a mouth. They don't have the lips that we have. And even their hair is a holographic projection. So you're never going to see them play with their ears. They're going to see, and they don't have a pink either. So when you watch these videos, keep your eyes on the pupils.
Did you see that?
Do it again.
Oh, it will play. I looped it, baby. Watch her eyes. Because the reporter was pissing her off.
That's right off the news archive, man, not photoshopping.
Yeah, and I was watching that. I was watching that live on Fox.
Yeah,
and
I've seen it live too. And notice the distortion on her skin. Look at her fingers.
Oh,
that's a projection, man.
Yeah,
you see the light?
It freaked me out, man. I was up all night. I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't sleep that night. When I saw that, I lost it.
Well, dude, I said, man, no wonder they hate us and they're freaking crazy.
No, man, because so what I'm advocating for, and Jeff, I know you are too, and Scott, you're definitely advocating for this, is the human race sovereign, or are we prisoners?
We are sovereign if we choose to be.
That's right. That's the problem. If you choose to be sovereign, you don't have to listen to these assholes.
No, you know what? They just realize they hated the fact that we're being awakened. Okay, we're not with a steady flow of brainwash with the hypnotic crap. That they feed us, and so we can't critically think for ourselves. They really do think that we're stupid. Amazingly.
Well, I'll tell you where I got my whole thing started with was about a year and a half ago, a little over a year and a half ago. I went down to my digital generation sons, my son and his partner, and I said to them, I said, you know what? I am going to try an experiment. I am going to completely disconnect myself from mainstream media for 6 months. This is where I ended up. I don't look at the mainstream anymore. It is.
I know. I gave it up, man. I watch it from time to time to see what they're saying, but when you see the real stories underneath, you know, that that you're gonna find like more truth to it. You know, like here's some truth you didn't hear. All these earthquakes and some of these disasters, you know, like the Japanese earthquake. No, I love Japanese people, okay? The prime minister, though, on March 11th, denounced Israel for not dividing its nation and splitting it in half with Palestine.
Yeah, I heard
and
that.
1 year to the date that they had the Fukushima accident, that was 6 miles. There was, for 6 minutes, the thing shook for 6 miles away. I mean, and 6 reactors were destroyed. I mean, come on, man. When you look at these disasters, this. So if anybody wants to worry about when this thing's really going to hit, wait for the actual division of Israel. That's when you can run your life.
Yeah, that is something that me and Gil Broussard, in our interview, we spoke in length about, and that was one of the biggest warning signs. And we went over that, and we went over it, and we went over it, and you know, he said the same thing, man, the same exact thing. You know.
Well, and again, the hope message is that, and this is what comes. This is why I like the original native story about this stuff, is that they believe versus, and also this parallels with the biblical narrative, guys, is that this is the time around that we win. This is the time around when we shed their freaking shackles off of us. Now, I don't know how we're going to do it yet. I don't know what that battle plan looks like. But I know that just waking up to this script that they wrote for us is part of it. So what we're doing by just making people aware, I really do believe that there are people that are going to get more information, more insight, that are going to help us to understand how to fight these people off. And that's where you get the millennial kingdom in the Bible. That's where you get the Native American prophecies about a great time of peace and togetherness and all that, all those kind of, like, you know, utopian ideas. But this time around, I really do believe we got a chance to unshackle ourselves. I really do. They ain't shackling me. I ain't never going to be shackled. Never. No, man. Never. Me neither. Never, I know that about you, Scott. That's one of the reasons I love you, man. You are a fighter, and I love your piss and vinegar, man. I love it. Yeah, you know what? And it's red wine vinegar, baby. Italian dressing style. That's what it is. Hey, you know what? Before we jump into another subject, I wanted to share another video with you guys that I just got in, and this was sent in by another one of my subscribers. And once again, you know, whenever I saw this, I tried to figure it out, and I couldn't figure it out. Let me just go ahead and share this with you real quick. And this is similar to the video that we watched yesterday, and this was from another subscriber. Holy crap! Look at that little dot on there. Wow. And remember how last night, whenever we were, or you guys were talking to John Horton, and he said that the plasma fields, it will look like you're looking at light underwater. Well, take a look at what you see on your screen right now. Does that not look like it's underwater? It really does. Huh. I mean, that literally looks like there's water flowing through the lens. But this is a very well-to-do amateur astronomer, and they've been watching this object coming in. And there you go, everybody. You know,
We just don't sit around.
The truth is far stranger than fiction. And, you know, I want to go back to this prefrontal cortex thing and maybe jump down that for a second. You know, we talk about cognitive dissonance, that you can see something right in front of your face and not see it because you've been trained not to see it. Let's just, you know, maybe talk a little bit about what, you know, who gets to define what's impossible and what's possible? Where did these ideas of possible and impossible come from? Do you ever think about that?
Oh, yeah.
So when I hear somebody say to me, well, it's impossible that a binary star is coming towards us, I'm like, who the F are you to say such a thing? Who can say what's possible and not possible? Listen, recently I checked, and right now I'm not God. I really believe I'm not God. Right?
Right.
So where do these people get off believing they are?
Exactly. That's what burns me, man.
Because look, man, I'm not going to worship your ass. You get over it, man. I'm not worshiping your ass. And that's what they want, man. I really believe they want the whole civilization to just bow down to them in fear and worship. That's really what I think they're looking for.
You know, the only thing that I ever bowed down to and worshipped heavily in my life was my Farrah Fawcett poster in my bedroom when I was 13 years old.
Wow. Hey, guys.
I was going to say the only thing I've ever worshipped was a toilet after a hard night of drinking, but.
What's happening, Jeff?
Hey, I want to share, you know, I know we don't have the exact same points of view with each other, but I would like to share some good news because I see a lot of the comments that people know we're not all going to die. And, you know, there really is a good news, and God does love us. And I want to share my perspective with on what this whole thing is. I think we all agree that this incoming body is the sixth seal judgment, do we not? Or does it not match what it says?
I agree with that.
It matches.
We do agree on that. Okay, yep. So with that being said, about the star scrolling, and let me see. I'll share my screen when I'm ready here. 1 second here. I got to get up. Okay. You guys see my screen yet?
It's about to pop up.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Now, this is from the King James Bible, and it's everywhere. But again, since this is a six, in this Revelation chapter 6, I saw a lamb. Who is this lamb? Okay. Who do you think he is? What are we talking about? These riders on the first horses, and it comes down to these seals. So we get the breaking of these six seals. This six seals, we're going to key on that there was a great earthquake. This is the sequence of events. The sun became black, which I think is Nibiru, eclipsing the sun, casting its red shadow on the moon. The stars fell from heaven. That would be, I believe, all the asteroids going through the tail as a mighty wind. The heaven departed like a scroll. That seems like the pole shift to me. And every mountain moved out of their places. And the kings of the earth and the great men and the rich men, the captains, hid themselves in the dens and the mountains.
Yep,
and said to the rocks, ready this? Fall on us and hide us from him who sits on the throne and the wrath of the Lamb. So all this we've been talking about is the wrath of the Lamb. For great is the day his wrath has come, who is able to stand? Well, that's funny because we are not appointed to wrath, but unto salvation. So I don't think that this great wrath of God who's going to literally just start arbitrarily killing everybody, you know, he's going to come here and set up his kingdom. That's all I wanted to say about this wrath. And do a wrath study and see this wrath and unto salvation in the book of, let's see, I'll pull it up, Thessalonians 5:9. Okay, Thessalonians 5. And this is just before the rapture verse. For you know perfectly well the day of the Lord comes a thief in the night. For when they say peace and safety, which this is this Israel thing, then sudden destruction. So I don't think there's going to be an economic collapse or EMP or anything until this moment. And ye are children of light, not of the day, nor of darkness. do not sleep day or night. And here in verse 9, he had not appointed us to wrath, but to obtain salvation by our Lord Jesus Christ. So I'm just going to leave it at that, and you guys can continue talking. You just wanted to get that point for anybody who. So for that alone, I am not really a prepper. And I could sit here peacefully on the California coastline and actually not worry about it. I believe our mission is to get the gospel out and to wake people up.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. I would have to agree with you. I mean, how would you even prepare for, anything like what we're talking about, other than, your everyday, day-to-day life. But if you do plan on continuing, not giving up, then, your preparation is going to be key. Yeah. Meaning, if you're this stuffy suit that's never been out in the wilderness before, that's never picked up a fishing rod, that's never fired a rifle, that's never gone camping, that's never picked up an axe and chopped wood, right. You're probably not going to last too long. If you don't know anything about some type of, emergency first aid, about how to take care of yourself, then you're probably not going to last very long. You're going to become somebody's meal eventually. Yeah. So, as far as being a prepper, I think some people are going above and beyond and overboard, but yeah. There is a certain amount of preparation that I think everyone should take. And I think
what people are denying this reality, we call it a lot of things, but this thing is coming in with the stench of death or the fragrance of life. It's all how you look at it. And there are people that deny it, that refuse, no matter how much proof, no matter how much earthquakes, how many sinkholes, with evidence is just piling up higher and higher. They won't believe it until the lens system gets destroyed and they see this coming in, and it'll be too late. But the reason why is they fear judgment. And this thing is like watching a slow motion judgment. It's like the judge is coming. He's going to put the hammer down, and that's it, man. And so have you noticed that Christians embrace this stuff? We're like, okay, they might be denied at first, but like, oh, wow, like me. When I saw the sixth Gil Bouchard, I'm like, wow, I didn't know that a planet was going to fulfill all this. I thought it was just going to be some supernatural event. Right. And so now when Christians see this it's in the book of Revelation, the 12, we're seeing the Bible prophecies come true. And then you're going to get your haters, and there's going to just be a great division. People are going to embrace this. Oh, yeah, cool, man. I like to say this. The beginning is near. How about that?
That's the way I look at it. I mean,
a lot of people do. And I wanted to say something, too, along that line. And even if you don't want to put the Jesus component into it, there are a lot of people that are very spiritual that woke up to this, too. And again, I learned to appreciate this hanging out with the original natives up in North Dakota, is anybody who has a spiritual connection with the Holy Spirit is easy to talk to about this. And when you look at the Bible, there's a verse in there that talks about that, that basically here's the test. The light comes, and there are people that will walk into the light and be cleansed by the light. And then there are people that will hang on to their darkness because they love the darkness more than they love the light.
Right. They just love it. They don't want to repent. They want to just keep doing their own thing. They want to work their way to heaven. And, God's got his rules, and they don't want to play by it.
Well, they have their own rules for everything. And that is the key. To me, that's the root of all destruction. That's why when you say the love of money is the root of all evil, well, what does money do? Money makes you believe you're God.
Right. Because you can control your own circumstances. You can buy your way out of stuff.
Right. And so, these aren't necessarily just Christian concepts. These are universal spiritual concepts. So I'm not trying to diss Christianity because I'm a Christian, but I also want to make sure that other people know that just because I have a Christian point of view, if you know the Holy Spirit, you know the goodness of God, and, I'm not going to sit here and judge you, man.
Right.
You're going to have to deal with all that.
That's all it really comes down to, man. You either got the Holy Spirit or you don't. And people are going to come to a higher understanding sooner or later. You don't have to even know about the rapture to get raptured. You just need the Holy Spirit.
I think you hit a key. I think you hit a key. I think you hit a key word there, Jeff. Is a higher understanding. You know, just having that higher understanding, helping yourself to get there, is going to mean a lot. It's going to mean a lot. You know, it's just. I mean, just like you said, Steve. You know, I mean, you're a Christian. I've never been a very religious individual. I mean, I went to Catholic school for 8 years. I studied the entire Bible from beginning to end, you know, through school. I got a great education.
Okay.
But I just over the years after leaving Catholic school, I kind of got a bad taste in my mouth about religion, and that was because of everything that was going on around me at the time. It had to do with all of the evangelists on TV, and all the money coming in, and I just it blew me out. But I do have my own faith. I'm not an atheist. I believe in God. I believe in a higher power. I just don't go to church every day, read the Bible every day anymore. But I truly believe that we have one creator that created everything. Because if you just sit down and think about it, look at the vastness of the universe and all of the galaxies. Everything around us is so complex. Even a blade of grass is so complex, it will blow your mind. So I believe in one creator, the God Almighty. And I think that, you know, a lot of us are going to be led right through this, I'll just call it an event, a life event. And there's light at the end of the tunnel. And there will be probably a new mankind that will give birth. This is going to give birth to a new mankind. And hopefully it dissolves all of the scum and the evil that is on this planet right now. Because there's a ton of it. I mean, just look at the way that we are treated by the people that try to debunk what we're saying, what they do to us. I mean, these are going to be the first people led into hell. And I tell them all the time, listen, you think what you're doing is a noble thing? Let me tell you something. You are going to be the first person that they lead to the guillotine. And if I'm standing there, once your head gets lopped off, I'm going to kick it like a soccer ball. You know?
God, Scott, you got to stop saying stuff like that.
Yeah, we got to love people, man.
I love you, Scott, and I get it, man. I've been working on this rage thing like you can't believe, because as I wake up more and more to the truth of what's going on and what a deception, what an evil, dark heart it must take to do all this stuff, right? The first thing that comes to me is rage. I just want to just shoot somebody. I mean, I just want to go after them. And
well, that's our human nature, man. But we got another choice. We can overcome that with kind words. And I fall temptation too, man. I know I've sinned and fallen short of the glory of God, but I can admit that. And I've telling people, you know, repent, because we know that the sad part is that they're on their way to the lake of fire.
Yeah, and I want to be there.
That's why I'm here, man. That's why I'm here. I'm not. What do we got to gain from this craziness? You know, stand up for the truth is a horrendous fight. I think it's all the more. We're just getting weary from all this.
Finally, I'll say another thing. I've been watching The Walking Dead. I know, right? I never watched it before. Okay.
Right.
And one of the things that just keeps occurring to me in here is that, and I know this is a really big tangent, is your idea. You know, you're going to have to think about being mobile, guys. I don't believe weathering this in place is going to happen. I think you're going to have to figure out what your first move is going to be, your second move is going to be, when things start happening. And I think you need to be thinking about where you're going to go where there's water, and you got to think about where you're going to go where there's some altitude as things get hotter. And so, you know what I mean? I just some very, very basic stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Speaking of water, whenever I was talking to my contact today, and we actually got on immediately got on the subject of water, because anybody who lives in large cities, they're going to have immediate, very, very serious issues, very, very serious problems. People that live in volcanic areas, they're going to have very serious problems. Remember when that earthquake went off in Iceland a few years ago? That literally made its way almost, I think, all the way around the world. And that was a bad thing, man. That was a bad day when that eruption occurred in Iceland. And that was one volcano, one. And with all of these volcanoes under our seas erupting, and now with all of the fracking of the earth, literally across the earth. I didn't realize that they were doing fracking in European countries. I just found that out. And I was in the fracking industry for 5 years here in Pennsylvania. And I studied it. And I mean, I hold like 13 certifications in the fracking industry. And I learned all about the geology. And when this earth starts cracking and shimmying and these volcanoes are going off, they're going to be releasing gases into the area that you live, and you're going to have very serious water contamination. So going back to the prepping, if you want to learn anything, you better learn how to purify water, because you need that water. Even if you don't have food, you're going to have water.
Yeah. Hey, guys, can I cut in for a second?
Sure, sure.
Talk about these incoming disasters and the elite knowing all this stuff. You guys have to see this in case you're not aware of it. I want to share the screen again. Okay. Check this out. This St. John the Divine Church. You guys see that? That's in Manhattan Island. See the Twin Towers all in disarray with the tsunami waves coming over the top?
Oh my. When was that carved?
Oh, okay. So I've done some investigation. This was carved in the building, here's the older building here. It was like 1870. But here, the additionally carved into it in 1997, right here. They carved this out, this more prophetic, creepy stuff on their pillars. Okay, now look at this one. What is that? The Brooklyn Bridge with freaking cars falling off in a big watery flood?
Wow, look at that.
Yeah. Saint Divine. What is this, man? The 4 horsemen apocalypse with the Antichrist? I mean, come on. Oh, wait. Oh, the birth of the Antichrist. Yeah, what is this? So, the Lamb of God or something? Weird, man.
Where's that located?
That's in Manhattan Island. Oh, this is on the St. John the Divine Catholic Church in Manhattan Island. You can go there, take your pictures, and there it is. What is it, Skull and Crossbones? Come on, man. People need to wake up. This is the Kabbalah. This is the kind of people that are in charge. This is like the Antichrist, always covering up his eye here, right? Just like all the rock stars do.
Oh, my.
Yeah, go check that out, people.
Yeah, that was a good.
And look at the back of the $1 bill, okay? If you don't think something big is coming and they know about it, it's time to wake up. And look at, built in 97 too, man. Just like there's those jackpot numbers.
Interesting.
Wow, well, that's very interesting.
I just thought I'd mention that real quick, man.
Oh my God.
Back to you guys.
No, I would end up by just saying that, look, we need to keep getting the word out. We need to keep sharing. We need to keep, propagating these videos out. Nibiru and the Jeff P channel and WSO, we've agreed to do regular shows together and share them on our channels, guys. We are not in this for ourselves. We're trying to get as much truth out as we can. So just remember that, okay? The more we're aware of it and the more that we band together, the more that, the more likely that people are going to survive this. That's all I got to say.
Well, there's no doubt we're definitely going to survive this. There's no doubt about it. I mean, like I said, people die every day, and people are born every day. This is just going to be a part of our lifetime that you'll never forget. This will go down definitely in history, unless the people that are born and go into time cover it all up like the ones that are doing now, you know.
Right.
But yeah, it's going to be. I mean, I think about it every day, and I think about what my life could have been, should have been, but I know what my life is going to be like now. And you know, we've all said this before. I didn't have to bring this upon myself. I didn't have to do anything that I'm doing now. I could get a nice 8 hours of sleep every day. I'm retired from business now.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I should be fishing, and I should be, you know, taking my yearly vacation to Italy, and I should be doing all of these fun things, you know. But I can't.
Yeah, I could be playing video games right now, right? I got some cool games. I can sit there and just blow all this off.
Yeah, I can't.
But I know, man. My spirit just doesn't want me to do it, man. I can't seem to stay away from the truth. I'm in love with it.
Yeah, and there was one thing that I was telling Steve before we jumped on is I found a website that lists all of the radiation levels in live time across the world, and I wanted to share that with everybody, and I'm going to provide everyone with a link to that, because I think that's very important in the time that's coming right now. So let me go ahead and I'm going to pull this up real quick. One thing I did want to do is, we were talking about the earthquakes, and I just want to show you that it is happening. The earthquakes are happening, and I was just can you see my screen? Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah, notice the big omission of earthquakes that would logically be on the Mexican coast. That pissed me off when you told me that yesterday.
Yeah, here's Mexico.
Okay,
here's
I see
Mexico.
it now.
Okay, here's Mexico. You see nothing. Okay, this is literally what's happening in California right now. I mean, it's definitely way more activity, and then moving straight on up into Alaska. I mean, they're literally getting, look at the line of earthquakes. I mean, this literally, you know, they're 3.4. I mean, they're literally everywhere in these main zones.
Make familiar, Jeff. Dutch Sense's videos. He's got this thing nailed pretty tight, man.
Oh yeah.
And one thing that really got, I've been watching the 3D earthquakes. I got the apps like long before my Nibiru. But one thing he's been seeing, like, I think it was like 4 or 5, 600 kilometers quakes, which is, even he said, I've never seen this before.
Yeah.
You know, when you start seeing more people like Mike from around the world and Dutch Sense, people watch these sites around the clock, and they start saying, I've never seen this before.
Yeah.
Right?
It
makes you wonder. Evidence.
But here is the seismic office in Mexico, and I keep in touch with this gentleman now, and we've actually become friends. And as you can see where my cursor is, this is the last 2 days, and you can just see the activity all along the western coast, right along that ridge in Mexico. And if you take a look at the left-hand side of your screen, these are not just little microquakes. 3.8, 3.9, 3.8, 3.5.
Yeah, you guys, listen, if you're listening to us and you think we're full of crap, you got to ask yourself, why would the USGS hide that? Just ask the question, why would they hide that?
Yeah, it doesn't even appear on the USGS, not one of them. The furthest that they will report is an earthquake that is along the border of Southern California and Mexico and in the Gulf of Mexico. And let me tell you something, right here where my little hand is in the Gulf of Mexico right there, there have been several earthquakes in the past 2 weeks, dead center in the middle of the Gulf of California.
Right.
And they're literally they're going to lead directly up the west coast of South America, all the way up, and they're not reporting these either. Some of these sites are not reporting these earthquakes that have occurred in the past week. I'd have to bring the earthquake tracker up, but I mean, there was a pretty nice earthquake right there 50 minutes ago in Alaska, a 3.4. I mean, there was an earthquake. They finally put it back on the map 10 hours ago in Ashland, Virginia.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
Ashland, Virginia. Come on.
I want to make sure that people that hate to have, you know, did we say they're going to have some kind of an update? And I know we don't like setting dates, right?
I don't.
Yeah, because we know as soon as we make it, it doesn't happen. Well, we're not prophets either. You know, all we can do is what Jesus said. I'm only looking for the sign. So I can't give anybody a date. You know, I don't have that privilege, neither you guys, to fly up in a space shuttle and look, thanks to the chemtrails and the lensing action and everything else. We can't see this incoming body. We have to look at all the hints and clues and the crumbs that the Illuminati and throw at us.
Well, yeah,
Right.
this is you have to decipher the information, and then there is a possibility that the information that you're looking at is deceiving you because somebody put false information up in front of you, or they're manipulating it. So once again, this is just simply, you know, several guys in this world trying to put this puzzle together for the rest of mankind. And I would love to just have everyone that follows all of us just respect that fact that we put a tremendous amount of time into trying to decipher and put this puzzle together for you. We may not know each other personally, and we may never meet each other, but just respect the fact that we are putting our lives into all of this. And I mean, I get it from my subscribers. I get beautiful emails from everyone, and I really appreciate it. Everyone that follows my channel and Jeff's channel and Steve's channel. Hey, listen, we all thank you. We all wish you happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and you know, I really respect the fact that that you guys all support us. But this is the radioactive or radiation website that was forwarded to me, and it's very easy to read, and it covers the entire Earth, and it is also, it updates itself all by itself. Even if you're on the screen, it will update itself, but like it just did, it just updated itself. But if you look here where my cursor is, right here where it says trend up, anywhere where you see that darker gold color in a circle, like right here at this area in California, Utah, one in Washington. There were several right where I live in southwestern Pennsylvania earlier, several hours ago, that were at a level 3. Now, I delved into this website extensively, and this deals with all kinds of radiation, solar radiation, you know, from the Earth, from nuclear power plants. As you can see, all the little icons for nuclear power plants all across the Earth. But you can clearly see that there are a lot of places already on this map that are in a level 3 out of 5 for radiation already. And just going to the well, that was the Pacific Northwest. I wanted the Earth, the whole Earth. World maps. Just click on Europe. Now, right now, Europe, for some reason, is not experiencing anything but normal levels. And that could be because they are in darkness.
Right, they're coming into nighttime.
Yeah, they're not facing the sun. And Australia, basically nothing. And the more and more I delved into this site, it is very, very good, very good. Now you can see South America, they just have one reading. But the more and more that I was looking at this, and you know, I'm going to start paying very, very close attention to this. you know, on a daily basis, because as you can see right now, the Earth is directly in the line of the sun, our part of the planet, and you can clearly see that it is pretty much littered with readings of radioactivity. And like I said, a lot of them, if where is the one? I'm just learning this site. Oh, the detail map. Pacific Northwest. You can go into it. It gives you a little bit more of a zoomed in version of where you're at. The Southwest, the Northeast of the United States. And then you could see, I mean, right where I live, there is a very high level. If you're looking at my cursor, that is a level 3 right there. And that will start to have effects on people as those readings, and they're going to go up. They're going to go up. There's no doubt about it. This is South Florida, Georgia, Florida, several readings in there. And when you see the yellow circle with the darker black ring around it, that's about at a stage, a level 2. But these darker circles with a brownish color, that's a level 3. And the more and more you go into it, I'll leave a link to this site so everyone could, you know, keep yourself updated on it. And I think it's definitely something that we should all, you know, I think we should all start paying attention.
Touch on the topic of the underground cities and the tunneling machines and that fun stuff?
Oh, yeah, they're big Bertha boring machines.
Yeah, I've got maybe you guys can pull up the 1976 leaked photo of the underground cities of America and how 5 of them on the West Coast are in a perfect alignment of this map and sitting in the tunnels of the 5 Walmarts that closed. Remember that? On what was it, April 13th? 5 Walmarts all at the same time for plumbing issues, and not one of them ever applied for a plumbing permit.
Yeah, I heard about that, and actually, I have a friend of mine who is works at a Walmart, one of those big, massive Walmart distribution centers over in Ohio, because you really don't know where your Walmart products come from, but they come from several distribution centers strategically situated within the United States. And he has been, he works in, he's a logistics coordinator in the main hub that covers the entire East Coast of the United States from Ohio all the way down. And this, I've been past this facility because I was on a fracking site out in Carrollton, Ohio, and we had to go past this place. And I was pretty impressed. This place is millions of square feet, massive. Yeah. And it is like a military operation in this place. And as far as what you were talking about, Jeff, you know, they shut down 269 Walmarts in one day. In one day. 200, it's either 239 or 269 in one day.
I mean, like Radio Shacks. It sounds like they lead are cashing out, because you heard like the Radio Shacks, Macy's, you know, in our booming economy, according to Obama, that, you know, we're such a wonderful economy that we're all making more money and unemployment's only gotten higher. And man, we're just heaven on earth down here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, peaceful, loving people that we are for the 8 years that we've had. Man,
you know, I'll be honest with you. I mean, you know, with the earthquake activity that's starting to pick up, and whenever we do get into the peak of the earthquakes, I mean, this is something that's just not going to go away. We're not going to have a spurt of earthquakes and then wake up and it's going to be a sunny day and the earthquakes aren't going to happen anymore. They're going to consistently continue. So myself, I would not want to be in an underground bunker. I don't care who in the hell built it. Being in an underground bunker like that for a year, oh man, no way. Ooh, you know.
Yeah. Well, you know,
well, you've got to remember that, you know, the way that people survive through stuff is they band together. That's how we survive. We've always been that kind of a race, species. And I keep saying race when I mean to say species. When cataclysms happen, I always go back to the 9/11 story. It's like after 9/11, we didn't go out and start punching each other in the face. We pulled together. And I really do believe that if we can resist their fear mongering, because that's what they're going to do, and be, you know, and hold it together and work with one another, we'll make it through. Some people are going to be lost. Yes, I get it. But the majority of us can make it through if we pull together. That's what I believe. I'm going to stick to that. I don't care if I'm freaking got no more arms or legs and my head is almost cut off. I'm still going to believe it.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
So with that said, I got to run, guys. And I wanted to say thank you to all Scott's and Jeff's subscribers that came over to help, and Scott and Jeff and all the Nibiru researchers that helped us when we got taken offline, and it helped me to build up the secondary channel and just all, I mean, I just want to thank you guys. I that's what I seek to. We talk a lot of negativity, but let me tell you, man, the people that back us are the most loving people I've ever met. The ones that back us.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're always the ones that are writing me emails saying, you might be down now, but we know you'll come back. You know, all those kinds of notes. I wanted to thank them. I want to thank all those guys.
Yeah, so just so everybody knows that Steve's original WSO channel is back up and running. The copyright strikes that were falsely placed against his channel have been lifted. And I mean, that right there, folks, that is a redemption. That proves to you that, you know, we're not lying to you. I was just reading some comments in the chat room, and there's some trolls in there, a few of them that I know. Yeah. And they're all in there saying, oh, Scott, stop lying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we have a particular troll in there threatening with a life. I will kill you, really.
Oh, yeah, I get those all the time. Like I tell them, come to my front door, but I'll tell you what, buddy, you better bring your best game, because I'll whoop your ass. I will open up a can of ass whooping on you like you've never seen before. But anyways, you know, I mean, you leave all that up to me.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Don't let them control the negative
anymore, man. Go ahead and kill me. That's what I say. Go ahead and kill me. Do it. Just get it over with.
Oh, they're a bunch of wussies. Give me a break, man. They're a bunch of fat.
Yeah, Jake is a troll too. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. If you hate me so much, get off the channel. Stop trying to brainwash your other people to believe what you believe. We're just showing the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, usually on my videos, you know, when my subscribers are there, they pretty much ignore them. But there's a group of my subscribers that they just go right at them and they attack them. They attack them, man, and they try to bring some truth to it. They're like, "Why are you sitting here?" Oh, because Scott's a liar. He's been caught in so many lies. You know, and I just want to bring this up.
I gotta say this: all liars will not enter the kingdom of heaven. Okay, there's only one place for them, and that, you know, it's smoking and non-smoking. So you liars, you're going to be in the smoking section. You better repent and stop supporting the lie.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you what.
You know you're lying.
Yeah, how could you wake up every day and look in the mirror and say, this is what I do for a job? Because here's the bottom line. I'm going to sit here, eat my
mama's basement, eat my peanut butter and J sandwich.
And debunk cereal.
I don't have a real life because I'm a government-paid, blackmailed troll to be on there getting paid by the government. We know because you got your government IP addresses.
Yep, absolutely. We know all about you. And we just want all of the subscribers, all of the viewers to know and understand when these, total
retarded, overweight loser listening. I love it.
When these idiots are in the chat and in the comment section and they're spewing their hatred and their garbage.
We just want you to do. Okay, you don't like it, leave. It's free America. Go change the channel. Watch something else. Go watch Hillary Clinton in a Hillary, CNN network.
Yep, absolutely. And here's something else that I found out that, and I discovered this a few months ago, is that some of these hot rod trolls that seem to be on your channel 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's
yeah,
not just
a life, right?
Yeah, it's not just one person. It's 3 or 4 people, and they're taking shifts using that identity on YouTube for that channel. Now, do you want to know how I discovered that? You want to know? Because this is proof. I had contact with a gentleman from Canada who did an expose on these scumbags, and he literally outed them and outed one of the organizations.
Yeah, I know. They sent your kids pornography. So many trolls that are listening to us now, sending you porn to your little kid. It's pathetic.
Oh, not that. Not that. You can tell.
Yeah, we all know
which troll is taking the helm of that particular identity.
Oh yeah, Jake, Dazza the cameraman. Which I find that funny because the brainwashing that Dazza does, even his channel has a hypnotic, freaking suggestive BS symbol for his channel. I mean, seriously, Dazza, be dazzled by my lies, I mean, like, he's suggesting the fact that he's hypnotizing you in his BS. And of course he's got a following because people don't want to know about the judgment of God that's coming.
Yeah, absolutely. They're pretty much pathetic.
Well, let's just move on. They're not going to direct the narrative. We should go.
Yep, absolutely.
Anyways, we wasted enough time on these.
How much I appreciate Jeff, Scott, Wayne, Rex Baird. I've got a show coming up with a couple other people coming up, and I'm back. And again, they got us down a little bit, but they don't got us out.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. Let's have a question to answer for any constructive criticisms or questions, honest questions that we'd like to answer. Like photos that they want answers to, anything like that.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I'm a little more interactive with the audience. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Me and Steve did a couple radio shows. The last radio show we did with Bad Baby on Fight for Our Freedom Radio turned out very, very good. We didn't have any trolls trying to infiltrate the radio show like the first time, and turned out very good. We had a lot of beautiful people calling in from all over the United States, asking very credible questions and giving us their experiences on what they were actually seeing.
Well,
Steve, when we talked about actually doing a legitimate radio station, and we could go to iHeart, we can pick this up anywhere to do, this live stream.
Yeah, the only reason we didn't start 2 weeks ago because they took my channel down.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Jake, Jake, wasn't you were like Dazzy? You said you caught him on YouTube selling bread, debunking bread.
No, it was cereal. I got the video.
Oh, cereal.
Yeah, man.
You got to pull that up, man.
I do have it.
You can see the trolls and their channels that they subscribe to Dazza. Let's just see who's behind this. I mean, want to shine the light on these clowns.
I mean, it was, you know what? I don't even want to put it up on my screen during our live broadcast because I could see a copyright strike. But if anybody wants to see the main handler debunking 2 boxes of New Zealand cereal in his mother's basement, you email me and I'll email you a link. It's 22 minutes. And you know what he discovered? That the one packaging holds a ½ an ounce less. He spent 22 minutes in his mother's basement apartment with a little 2-burner stove. Listen, when my subscriber sent me that, it was in the middle of the night and I was up doing some research work. I cracked up the rest of the night. I literally
the next morning you call me up and you like, oh, check this out, Steve. And I looked at it and it was like, you made my day that day.
Yeah, so this is a guy who goes from debunking Fruit Loops and Fruity Pebbles to debunking Planet X. Give me a break, man. Come on. Wake up.
Well, you know the source, man. Once you consider the source, and I see these guys trying to criticize my channel, and I see they subscribe to WTF, What the Foul Mouth, and Dazza, that it's not even, you're not even giving them a second of their time,
Oh, you're talking about Big Mac. Yeah, that's what we nicknamed her. We moved her up from sausage fingers to Big Mac. And I got an email.
Man. It's hard not to vent a little bit, man, when you get hit with these clowns, man. They just
I actually
people would stand up to a lot like that.
I have like these close friends that you make these friends, and they're just business people and great people and leaders and all that stuff. And I have a couple of them that are like, Steve, she's got a hard on for you like you can't believe. And I'm like, well, maybe she thinks that she, had one of those fantasies that I was her boyfriend or something like that, and she feels scorned. And I just laugh my ass off.
Hey, you know who I think's real comical is that false pastor, that false prophet that hangs out with them. His name's Jeff. He has a YouTube channel. This guy is the biggest freaking joke I've ever seen in my life. Huh. I mean, he claims to be some type of music producer and blah, blah, blah. And he makes these absolutely stupid, horrendous videos. He's right in line with the WPF.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
yeah. It's too short to freaking focus on these people, man.
Yeah, he wrote me a letter one day talking about how I've taken on people like you before, and I'm going to bring you down, and blah, blah, blah. And I write back to him, I said, take your best shot, bro.
Yeah, it's just it's a shame that we do have to waste time on.
Let's not spend any more time on the troll, man.
Yeah, absolutely,
guys. But I love you guys.
All right.
You got to know how much I love you, man, and just appreciate you guys. I just can't believe that I had. On the one hand, we have a lot of trolls, but I'll tell you what, I haven't felt this much love ever in my life either.
Hey, you know what I wanted to mention to you guys and everyone who's listening? A few months ago, I discovered a fantastic YouTube channel, and it's called Discovery Ministries. And it's a young
that guy's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's a young Asian guy who actually he's Australian. And let me tell you something. He does all of the information pertaining to, Planet X, the Bible, very religious Christian man. Yep. He's very, very smart. And I've got my notifications set up that whenever he drops a new video, I'm right on it. And when you listen to him, it gives you chills, because this is a guy that's not coming out there with hardcore Planet X videos like we're trying to bring this information. He's bringing a new light to it, man. And I really love this guy. I wish we could do an interview with him and talk with him.
I want to do a quick thing on what he had said. I'll give him credit for it. But I made a video about this before my channel got deleted, but I wanted to point out just how awesome his channel is, okay? So you need to subscribe to him. I'm going to share the screen for a second. This is concerning Nibiru and the planet and the Noah's flood. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, here we share the screen. Now I'm going to pull up Google Earth. Okay, so this is our planet that was once underwater during Noah's flood. Okay, I'm not going to go into the level of detail that he did, but the evidence of Nibiru was staring us in the face all along. And according to Noah's flood, that there is an earthquake. I mean, there was a flood, and the waters came from the depths of the earth. The fountains of the earth gave up water, and the whole planet was underwater. And then it said the water subsided. And to me, as a believer, I'm like going, how does the water subside if the whole planet is underwater? Well, first of all, there wasn't really a whole lot of water, probably some small lakes, but they didn't have the mountains that they had. These were small. But he said that as the 5 months of time that had passed from the time that the waters flooded, the water went from the earth passed through that 5 month cycle from one orbit from the fall to the spring side, and went a second time through the debris tail of Nibiru. You guys familiar with that story?
I saw his video on this.
Okay, so you know I'm going with this, right?
Yeah, I actually watched it twice.
Oh yeah. And then it shows, look, there's a Planet X in here. Anyways. Wow. How does that work? That's kind of neat, because where you see the Google Sky here, that is actually in Google Sky. But wherever you click on this Earth and you look up at the sky, that's where you're looking up at the sky from that area. And I find it interesting that this lands right here. Wow, there's a discovery right for you.
Yeah.
Anyways, Okay, the meteor hit the Earth and it slammed into the Gulf of Mexico. Now, the distance from Florida to Mexico is about 1,100 miles. So they say this thing was about a tenth of that. So 100-mile wide meteor hit the Earth and sent a shock wave through the Earth. And now if we follow this up, almost the exact center of this line, this longitudinal line, we come across on the opposite side of this. It comes to the Himalayas right here.
Yeah,
you see the shock wave?
Yeah, created the Himalayas.
All the way on the other, perfectly. I mean, it goes right up to Mount Everest right here. It freaking follows it perfectly with the exact same shock wave all the way across the planet.
Yeah, I talked to Gil Broussard. We talked about this for probably about an hour in our 4-hour interview that we did, and you know, he talked about that also, and that was very interesting because the semicircular pattern of the Himalayas, I mean, that just doesn't even look like it would be a natural geological formation. You know, that looked like that would have to be some type of a shock wave that just literally rippled straight through the Earth. But yeah, definitely check out the Discovery Ministries YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to WSO or Jeff's channel, I'll provide some links to both of their channels. Head over there, click on it, set up a notification, because you're going to get a wealth of information from all of us. And that's what you need to do. That's the bottom line. That's what we're here for. And we're not here to entertain you. We're here to give you the information that we are trying to decipher, that we literally get in. I mean, listen, I get information that comes in minute by minute, every tick of the clock. It's coming in.
Just sitting here with you, I've gotten like 50 emails.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
and I got to go through them.
Yeah, I'm going to be getting to a bunch of emails. I'm very behind because of all the information that's been coming in, but I will definitely be, you know, jumping into these later on this evening. I want to thank both of you guys, and you know, if I don't talk to either one of you, which I probably will before the holidays, have a happy holiday. Stay safe. And once again, everybody, make sure that you get to these channels and subscribe, set the notifications up, because YouTube deleted them all. So you got to click on the bell, set the notifications up for Nibiru Planet X.
Why don't you show them how to do that so that doesn't happen to us? Want to share your screen with these?
Yeah, I can do that.
I know that. What's that?
I could do that. Let me see. Let's go to YouTube.
I think, you know, we always get unsubscribed, so that's, let me show them. I think you have to click that. You can't do it on your own channel. You got to pick someone's channel.
Yeah, I got to pick a video. So let's just go to the home, and let's just type in cakes.
You sharing your screen, man?
Oh no. Let me jump back in here and share that screen.
All right. Then after this, we'll all say goodbye and thank you all for listening. And peace.
Yeah. So we'll go to the cake channel here, pineapple dumpling cake. How to cake it. So we'll click on her channel, and let's hope she doesn't have a video playing. We'll just mute that. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to subscribe to her channel. Now, once you're subscribed to the channel, you're going to see right over here the little grayish colored bell. Click on the bell. Once you click on the bell, you're going to have to click on the box that says, send me all notifications for this channel. And then there'll be a little box or a little word phrase right here. How you're notified, push only, manage settings. Well, when you jump on this will basically go into how do you want these settings to come, or the notifications to come to you, by email, blah, blah, blah. So you can just go ahead through this and set your notifications up, and they will get to you. Now, YouTube deleted all of this. I mean, I know I was getting emails from my subscribers from the beginning of October till now. Okay, and they're saying, Scott, I'm not getting your notifications. I have to go back to your channel several times a day, you know, blah, 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 blah. So in a situation where we need to get updated information to you, you need to be notified. You're not going to get the notification unless you get on that bell, click on it, set the notifications up, and click save. Click
That's it.
save. And you will be all done with that, and you will get your notifications, and all will be well. So anyways, Jeffrey, you have a good evening, and I'd like to thank everybody for hanging out with us, and we will probably have another update maybe within 24 to 48 hours, and both of these guys will probably have some updated information of their own.
Right.
All right, buddy?
All right, man.
You have a good evening.
You too.